for my 4-year-old to 12-year-old to get this vaccine. We don't want it. Say no. So I'm almost done. I just wanted to give you more good news. So I have written a report. It will be published next week. We'll want you to read it and challenge me and debate Dolores. If something is wrong, I will admit it. But about 6 weeks ago, I was talking to a lot of the scientists around the world, and actually for the last 3 months, we have been networking on all continents of the globe, and we hold Zoom meetings. And because we know we're up against like a spider, where these health organizations that are often unelected, that they have the power, and we've been actually with pharmacists and doctors and whistleblowers around the world, we can see a pattern that hydroxychloroquine was withdrawn or destroyed at a certain time all around the world. That the media started to amplify non-existent adverse events. That people who had COVID-19 were transferred when it was known in January the elderly were a high-risk group. The people who had COVID-19 were transferred from hospitals to the elderly. Yeah. Shame on them. And killing the elderly. Shame on them.
Shame on them.
Shame on them. Shame on them. And those very same elderly are now still locked up in care homes, and they can't hug their families. It's wrong. There is no need for it. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them! 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 And then they didn't provide the proper medical treatment, and a lot of the elderly died breathless and in pain and not in hospital. And as we saw, Dr. Vernon Coleman in the UK said that they've brought in rules about non-resuscitation that doctors can make without consultation with the family, and this is for people who may actually be, if they were given hydroxychloroquine, be alive today. So shame on them. That has to be shame. Shame on them.
Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them. Shame on them.
So we have now a network of 12 countries in the world where all of the lawyers are calling and doing public inquiries. But we have already distributed the information in case one or two of us might have disadvantages with our internet connections or our jobs, which some of them has. So we have a spider web network. We're going to liaise with all of the inquiries, but the medical doctors around the world are also liaising, and we are holding, I'm one of the main organisers, a rally in London on the 29th of August to end the lockdown, and we will have speakers like Senator Scott Jensen, a senator and medical doctor, and he was fired because he spoke about the changes to the cause of death certs. He was fired. He was a Minnesota Doctor of the Year, and he was an acting and elected senator. He was fired. Another doctor who I'm very proud to work with is Dr. Mohammed Adil, and he gave out a video in April 2020 for 4 papers about hydroxychloroquine, a surgeon with an unblemished record for 20 years, and he was asked to leave the hospital and fired because of that video. And he is one of the organisers, and a nurse, Kate Shamari. So at this video or rally, we will have 15 doctors and nurses from around the world, including Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. But also, the rally, the 500 doctors have actually organised together to generate an extra parliamentary inquiry in Germany. And they have asked if they can link up with us in London. So we are streaming, or our speeches will be filmed in London, and you may not have heard this because the RTE may have kept it from you. But on the 1st of August, when they held a rally in Berlin, 1.3 million people turned up to that rally. 1.3 million. So over 1% of the German population. And on the rally in Berlin, the 29th of August, August, they expect to have 2 million people at that rally. We are also, because of our networking countries, we are simultaneously organising rallies in Uruguay, Peru, Argentina, Mexico and Brazil. And we just want to give a shout out to our German colleagues in Leipzig to have a close relationship with us. They have had a rally at the same time as us. So if you just say hello to Leipzig today. Very good, thank you. So I'm just going to finish up just to say you have to leave here today and take responsibility. If you are a parent or a grandparent, you can write to your local school and your local GP to say, we do not want you to destroy the next generation of children, no masks, no social distancing. And you can write to your TDs and to your GPs and say, are you going to prescribe hydroxychloroquine, or to the politicians and the medical organizations, are you going to allow hydroxychloroquine for the elderly and the people that need it for influenza and COVID-19 infections? So truth and freedom! Thank you very much! Truth and freedom! Thank you very much! We are the change! You are the change! We are the change! You are the change! We are the change! You are the change! Thank you! Together we can move mountains! Thank you very much!
Hi everyone, again I know everyone's tired, it's been a long day, but we have one more amazing speaker. I'd like to introduce you all to Dr. Marcus de Brun.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Marcus de Brun. I'm a GP, and there was a time when I was proud to say that.
Excuse me.
And I'm afraid I can't really say that I'm proud to say that anymore. I don't speak for GPs. I speak for myself. And be aware that I am not the only GP in Ireland who's very upset about what's happening to our families, what's happening to our children, what's happening to our society, and what's happening to our lives. I'm not the only doctor in Ireland who's very upset. But medicine is a dangerous place at times, and when you speak out, you're very likely to feel the ire of the Irish media, of people on RTE and the Irish Times, and they can be dangerous and destructive to your family. So I am an angry man, and that's why I'm standing here today, because I'm angry. Before we lose the run of ourselves, I'm also angry at myself for being angry. Because anger is dangerous. Anger and social division is what this government has foisted upon the people of Ireland.
Absolutely.
We are angry. I am angry at what my children are expected to do. I'm angry at what I'm expected to do, and I'm angry at what's happened to our country and what continues to happen to our country. I resigned from the Irish Medical Council. I was appointed to the Medical Council by Minister Simon Harris because of what happened in the Irish nursing homes. The people who have died in the Irish nursing homes, they died in their 80s, their 70s, their 90s. They were the people who built what we see around us, and they built it at a time when there was nothing. They sacrificed, they worked when there was nothing, and they deserved so much better, but they weren't given it. They weren't given the very, very basics. And at the outset of this crisis, it was all about protecting them. That's what it was supposed to be about. Well, when the virus arrived in Ireland and the nursing homes closed their doors and said, we'll try to protect the people, Minister Harris said, no, open your doors, you're wrong. NPET said, open your doors, you're wrong. But they didn't listen. They kept their doors closed. When the nursing homes pleaded with the government and asked them to provide us with PPE, provide us with oxygen, many of those private nursing homes were told, you're a private entity, buy your own. And when they tried to buy their own, there was none available. It was taken by the government, used up, provided for the hospitals, in the nursing homes. When they desperately needed nursing staff, the nursing staff were sequestered into the hospitals to prepare for the surge. For 3 weeks, when nursing home residents desperately needed to be tested, when people were being transferred, patients transferred from the hospitals into the nursing homes to make way for a surge that never arrived, these people were transferred into the nursing homes without even being tested. And when they arrived in the nursing homes, they were told, you can't be tested because there's a shortage of tests, and the tests were withdrawn from the nursing home sector throughout Ireland for 3 weeks at the height of this crisis. But the government wants to tell us that these people were looked after, that these were mistakes that happened everywhere. Well, I'm sorry, that's not true. On planet Earth, next to Canada, Ireland has the highest rate of nursing home deaths in the world. And if that is not enough to allow those people the dignity of a full, independent public inquiry, then we are not living in a democracy. So yes, I am an angry man. And I speak here as an angry man. I don't speak for the doctors, I don't speak for the government, I speak for myself and my own experience, and I speak for us. And I speak as a father, because I have 4 children. And if this government wants me and wants my wife to send my children into a school where they can't bring their lunchbox, where they have to wear masks, where they have to distance from each other, where the mothers of these children have to deal with the stress of going to work and providing for their families and then coming back and picking up their children from school on odd days or this day or every day, and not allowed to bring lunch boxes and not allowed to enjoy a basic normal upbringing, a basic normal experience of childhood. Please don't tell me there's not something seriously wrong with our society if we allow that to happen. Children do not die from COVID-19. Ireland, we all know, the doctors know, COVID-19 is dangerous. It's dangerous to elderly people and people with underlying conditions. Well, in Ireland, we've got the highest rate of children with cystic fibrosis in the OECD. We've got the highest rate of children in Ireland with asthma. 2 very significant underlying lung conditions and not 1 dead child. So, are we going to buy into this ridiculous narrative? Are we going to continue to buy into this narrative? No, we shouldn't buy into this narrative. And why have we been asked to wear masks? What is the purpose of the mask? Well, as far as I'm concerned, the purpose of the mask is a distraction. It's to do exactly what we're unfortunately compelled to do. It's to have us talking about masks and not talking about the people in this country who are neglected and have been denied the decency of an independent public inquiry. indeed, and I'll repeat it, I am an angry man. I am most certainly an angry man. And as time goes by and as the truth is exposed, there will be more angry people and more angry people. But when the Oireachtas can have 80 people at a hotel playing golf and having dinner, when those people can include TDs from this country, ministers from this country, members of the Senate from this country, Supreme Court judges from this country, all brazenly flouting the guidelines that they expect us to take seriously, I would ask all of those individuals, who's wearing a tinfoil hat now? Where is your conspiracy now? So when we do engage in the dialogue about masks and when we ask ourselves whether it's right or whether it's wrong or whether it makes sense, it doesn't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense to have to spend €9 in order to enjoy a pint. What's going on here is absolutely laughable, and it has no scientific or medical basis whatsoever. And I'm not saying that as a doctor. Forget about what I have to say. In Dáil Éireann there is a COVID-19 committee established by the Irish government to look into what's been done wrong and what's been done right. And the COVID-19 committee commissioned an independent expert from the Oxford University in London who has told them, and this is available on the government.ie website, on Oireachtas television, their own independent experts have told them that masks are a total waste of time. The government's own independent expert has told them that cloth masks that people are wearing around their face are not just a waste of time, but they're dangerous. They're filthy, they're dirty, and they're dangerous. Please don't accuse me or say to me that I'm speaking out against the government, because that's the government's own independent advice. So when we talk about guidelines and when we talk about the flouting of guidelines and when we talk about the care of the elderly people, we need to be angry, but we have to be careful, because anger is dangerous. And when we're angry and when we're talking about masks, we're doing what they want us to do. We're distracted. We're distracted from the people who have died, and we're distracted from the futures of our children. We need to use our democracy. We need to call Micheál Martin to task. He needs to reconvene the Dáil and not dismiss the notion that this is insignificant or this is something that the government doesn't have to face up to. The government is going to have to face up to things. They're going to have to face up to all of us. And eventually, if we stay strong and if we stay fearless, the government will have to face up to the truth. Remember, we have nothing to fear except fear itself. Thank you.
That's the end of all our speakers this evening. I'm going to let Glenn say the final word, but I just want to say thank you so much to all the wonderful speakers here today, and to all of you as well for being so patient. It's been a long day, but it's been an amazing day of information, clarity and empowerment. So let's take that energy, guys, and use it to spread this movement. It's down to each one of us. If we want to create change, we have got to make that change. It's not just going to be left to who's on the stage here or any groups. Each one of us has to empower ourselves. Do what's necessary to create the change. Thank you all again, and wish you a safe journey.
Right, wasn't that fantastic? I want to thank all of our speakers, the organisers and every single one of you that came here today. We were going to go for a little walk, but we've been reliably informed that it might be a little bit dangerous. So for the health and safety of everybody here, there are children, mums, daughters.
Because of COVID.
No,
Fuck the COVID.
not today.
Fuck the
Let's go.
COVID.
Let's go.
Fuck the COVID.
Let's go. Let's go. 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 Go.
Where do you want to go?
Yeah.
Where?
Go. Go.
I can't hear you.
Go.
Where do you want to go?
Go.
I'm not walking 5 miles. No thanks. I don't have a crutch today, so. Okay, listen. In all honesty, where do you want to go?
Go. Take them down.
You want to go to the doll, do you?
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to take a stroll to the doll?
Yes.
Are you sure? Sure I do.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Well, in a few minutes, we're going to head to the doll. And remember to social distance. Thank you very, very much. Remember, you're the leaders of the movement. All of you. So get on your phones and on your internet tonight, on Facebook, whatever platform on social media you're on, and share. Share and share and share and share and more share. And never mind the begrudgers and the naysayers and everybody out there that's saying that we're wrong. We're not. Right.